Is this the make or break election for Nigeria?
But under this administration, we have seen a different kind of approach to the use of power. If you force a man to be president, when he gets there, he will not know what to do. He will sit down there, he cannot read a memo. I will be on television, I'll be sweating, doing public analysis for a man who doesn't even know the difference between foreign exchange and other economic issues. No, we don't want that going forward. In 2015, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually wanted to be the vice president to President Buhari. Some people even organized events in Lagos. They provided jollof rice and pepper soup. They provided T-shirts, Mayfi for 2023. Should the president of Nigeria be a man that is going back and forth from the hospital? 1 week in Nigeria, 2 weeks in the UK. The National Orientation Agency, well, that's a dead agency of government. If you challenge them now, they'll say, oh, they don't give us money in the budget. Okay, but there's somebody there carrying one big title, doing nothing, playing possum. Since 1960, the North, either military or civilian, has dominated power in Nigeria for at least about 41 years. Right? 1960 to now is 62 years. Abi? My arithmetic sometimes can be funny. Can you imagine imbeciles, making policies on behalf of people like you and I? But they do, because the system will not focus on people like us. They will focus on people who have strong kingmakers. And what Nigeria needs in 2023 is that enlightened leader, who can process information and ideas, okay? And who can provide the necessary leadership. Not a dictator, not a messiah. The office of the president of Nigeria is such a very powerful office that even the governors themselves, defer to that position. If you look at the powers of the president within the constitution, the president of Nigeria is like a constitutional monarchy. You can verify this. Is that President Jonathan used to say at the time that it's only God that gives powers. And if God gives you 100% of authority over others, over other constituencies, you should not use more than 10% of it. Very early in the day, the Buhari administration made it very clear that it was ready to use power and that it was not going to be humble or timid or, compromise the reality that, that administration holds power. Federalism is football because of the way the Nigerian politics is organized. It was Michel Arong that wrote a book on corruption in Kenya about it is our turn to eat. So when you run a country on a turn-by-turn basis, on the basis of the principle or the omission, the wrong that Michel Arong talks about in her book, then of course you cannot have a proper federalism. So the federalism in Nigeria does not work. We should have a president who is confident enough, not somebody who is dragged by village people or some people who just created some funny NGOs and they say you have to be president by force. There are some that even say there can be no election except we restructure this country. And that there should be no talk about election. Let us restructure Nigeria forward. All those interventions are useful. That the APC and the PDP, given the time that they have spent in power, have disappointed Nigerians. So that's the second category of the third force. All the politics about marginalization, domination in Nigeria is not dated from 1999. You have to go back to 1960. And I think that this is the interesting thing about Nigeria. The fact that the country has remained resilient in the face of all the centrifugal forces. Okay? But we should not take it for granted. The issues about equity, justice go beyond one political party. And what Nigerians are saying in both the APC and the People's Democratic Party is that if you have had a northern president for 8 years in the person of President Muhammadu Buhari, it is only fair to allow the thing to go to another place. And the people are saying, no, it cannot go to another place because the Constitution does not say so. Okay. So the people of the North Central, they are saying we too want the presidency. The people of the Northeast, They are saying we too want the presidency. Everybody behaves as if this Nigeria started in 1999. Can you imagine imbeciles, making policies on behalf of people like you and I? But they do, because the system will not focus on people like us. They will focus on people who have strong kingmakers, people who have money bags, people who have a large supply of thoughts. We cannot continue to run a country that does not focus on ideas and talent and competence.
Is this the make or break election for Nigeria?